What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Oversized KO Shattered Glass Grimlock. So, not advertising for them, but I got this from Shozi's store. It's not really available in US stores. And I did look at the stainless steel version of Oversized Grimlock about a year ago, back in October of 23. And now we finally got this guy in, this is end of October 24. So year-long wait. But it is really beautiful. It really looks nice. There's lots of paint detail in here. So you got this gunmetal color. You got the green, nice purple Autobot logo there for shattered glass. Orange paint there. Translucent orange with silver behind it. Or I guess this whitish metallic white. Purple paint there. Green teal paint there on the knees. Toes got purple and orange. No lack of paint detail. Here's the back. On the wings you've got the green and the orange. And we'll take a look at this more in the dyno mode. I don't want to spoil it. But really, really nice looking. It does have about the same articulation as the original, but things are a little bit tighter. The tolerance is a little bit better. When I first took it out of the package, I did an unboxing for members, but when I took it out of the package, these were kind of sticking out, but they do kind of sit in place properly. So it does feel good overall out of box. Sometimes these KOs don't feel so great. This one feels very nice and solid. All the joints are nice and solid. Speaking of the joints, let's go over the articulation. It is the same as the previous, but obviously I just want to show. Heads on a ball joint gets way up, all the way up to there. We get down to there. Not really side to side, but it does rotate around. It is set back in the back of the head, so that's why it gets so far up. And the head is gorgeous. You got the metallic green with the metallic white for the faceplate. And of course we do have the eye switching gimmick here, just like we did on the original. There's a little handle here, or a thing. It's pretty tight. I think it's because of the paint. But as you push it down, you get the orange metallic. That's pretty cool. So you can have the choice between the orange metallic or the green metallic. Personally, I think the green looks better, but nice to have the option. Shoulders on a ball joint. Same design as MP-08, so you get that butterfly out of it. You get up to there. Not really that much up, but it rotates around there. On the shoulder, you have a rotation here. And the paint can get sticky, so just be aware of that. You have a double jointed elbow. It's very, very tight. So just be cautious with it. But I can get about 90 degrees out of it. It's kind of hard to get it anymore. Again, not my figure. This is actually a gift for Dr. Diecast, so I'm going to be relatively careful not to scratch the paint. Rotation at the wrist. No individual articulated fingers. This is back in the day when some of the MP figures didn't have articulation. But the thumb is on a ball joint. You can move that around, but it doesn't really do you much good. On the other hand, you have a little bit more. You get to move the pointer finger. But still, you know, not really articulated hands there. Coming down to the waist, you have a waist rotation. You have not really an ab crunch there. It's just this piece kind of moves. Legs kick up to there. Friction joint. I think it could have stood to use a ratchet joint, but it's not. It holds, so tolerances are fine. Out to the side on friction. Out to there. There's a ratchet on the inner thigh, but not on the outer thigh. Rotation at the thigh. You have a single Giardini gets you 90 degrees. And we get ankle tilts. It is on this sliding piece. So you get down to there, back to there. I think it could have stood to have a little bit more, but that is the original articulation from MP-08. For the accessories, we get his classic gun. And I think this does have a light up feature. If I'm correct, there's a button right here. Yeah, it looks like the batteries go right here. And then if I remember, yeah, the button's on the back here. I don't think it has batteries in it. I'm not going to put batteries in it. Yeah, I don't think it's got batteries in it, but you can put batteries in there that'll light up the sword. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't light up, but there's the sword. That looks really good. And then here's the gun. And there's a little peg right here, so it can kind of tab in. And that sits very securely in the hand, just due to those pegs. And then we get his crown. And I got to remember, I think this part goes on the front. And yeah, man, that looks phenomenal. Whoever designed the paint scheme on this just really did a good job. And for size comparison, there he is next to the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime. Towers over him and looks really good in the Masterpiece scale. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Fans Toys Grinder X version. And it is bigger than this. Now, I think the Giga Power might actually be around the same size because that is a bigger version of the Dinobots. Speaking of this, I actually just recently acquired the alternate head, and I painted it to match and came out pretty nice. But you can see this would be a nice fit for an MP scale collection. Even though it's an oversized and it's pretty big, it will work in a Masterpiece collection if you wanted to. Alright, there is Grimlock in Dino mode. And it does look really good. That green and orange paint came out nicely. On the tail you got some green, metallic white, purple, and orange. It doesn't come together as smoothly as the robot mode. There's a gap here. I can't get it all the way. I think it's due to the paint tolerances. Same on the tail. I can't get it all the way together. I just don't want to force it and scratch up the paint, but it does look really good. It's got some tolerance issues. You can pose him. He's got some articulation. The head can rotate around and go up to there on a ratchet. It's one click up and down. He does have a mouth gimmick. You can open this up and then you can press this button to close the mouth. He has painted teeth. He does have the little flamethrower inside the mouth, so you can put a Blastifig or something in there. The legs can rotate here at that same joint that we had for the arm on the ball joint. You can rotate at the knee, and you can bend at the knee. The toes can move individually. They're very tight, but you can bend them down. They are die cast, by the way. The arms are on a ball joint. They can bend here 90 degrees, and then the claws are individually articulated. On the back, we got the tail, and it waggles back and forth. And that's it for articulation. Overall, a good-looking thing. By the way, it doesn't have the built-in, head twisting movement. They took away some of the hardware that lets you do that. It still has the gear, but it doesn't have the hardware to connect the two, which I'm okay with. You don't really need that. As far as weapon storage, there really isn't any. There's this little thing here, which is kind of a homage to the original toy. You can kind of fake it. You can put this in here, sorta. I don't know. It's not really weapon storage, but you could do that if you want. And of course, we do get the gimmick here with the eyes. You can lift up on this panel. On the inside, you got a little spring-loaded thing. You got to pull it down, rotate it, and set it to the orange if you want it. You go all the way around so you get the right angle. Then close that up, and now you got orange instead of green. That's a really cool option, just like the Dino robot mode head. You can do the Dino mode head as well. And for your size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime. So towers over him. Nice big Dino mode. And there it is next to the Fans Toys version. And again, bigger than him. And I actually like the sculpt of this KO, although it doesn't have the same articulation. It does have a nice sculpt. So final recommendations on the Oversized KO Shattered Glass Grimlock. This thing looks incredible. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. It is a soft recommend, but I am going to recommend it. I think it's just very, very well painted. Now, it is MP-08 after all, so you're dealing with years old technology and design. And there's some limitations. These ankles, they really just don't articulate all the way down. The hands aren't articulated. They don't have fingers. There's little things like that. It is dated, but the fact that they painted it this way, it is just beautiful. So I think if you're a Shattered Glass fan or a Grimlock fan, you're definitely going to enjoy this. I personally don't want one of these in my collection, but I can definitely appreciate the value and why people are getting these. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Dr. Diecast for allowing me to take a look at his copy, and we'll see you next time.